Did you guys see the Club Shay Shay interview with Amanda Seales? Because it's got the internet abuzz. It's got the internet talking. Of course, Club Shay Shay is Shannon Sharpe's podcast where, we talked about it on this podcast when he had Cat Williams, and he's been having these bombshell interviews. And this is one, honey. And I just wanted to talk about some of the moments that there's so much. First of all, it was a 3-hour interview, y'all. Shay Shay, he be doing them long interviews. And I watched the whole goddamn thing. I can't believe it. I have to split it up, but I watched the whole thing because it really is riveting. First and foremost, I want to say I love me some Amanda Seales. I have always loved me some Amanda Seales, partly because I identify a lot with her. I think Amanda belongs to the same club that I belong to. And that is the misunderstood, hold you to account, truth speaking, Black girl club. I know I know exactly what goes on with her because I'm in that same club. Yeah. And it's a tough club to be in. I ain't gonna lie. It is an exhausting club to be in because you are wholly misunderstood. And so I see her. I see you, girl. I see you, girl. I understand 100%. And so you can say I'm biased and I have a sweet spot for her because I empathize with her and I feel like I'm in similar shoes. But I also think she's an incredible entertainer. I mean, she's a great storyteller. Like, she's funny as hell. Like, she's good. So one of the things in this interview was there was a little bit of headbutting. There's some tension going on between Shannon Sharpe and Amanda, because one thing about Amanda is she's gonna tell you what it is. She's a truth speaker. She's a truth teller, and truth tellers they can't not tell the truth or else they'll explode, and it sucks. It sucks. So there were just some moments where they were just like butting heads, And one of those moments was when Amanda brought up the fact that she experienced racism on the Nickelodeon set when she was working on that show as a child, and Shannon was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Because, children is children. He basically completely minimized like what she was saying. And she was like, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. And then again, when she brought up the fact that she has been diagnosed with autism, which was a revelation, and she was telling him that she was diagnosed with autism, and he basically was like, are you sure you have autism? Because just because you're smart doesn't mean you have autism. And it was like, what? Shannon, what are you talking about, baby boy? I do really like Shannon Sharpe, I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes I'll be like, what are you talking about? How are you gonna question somebody's diagnosis? What the heck? And so there were some headbutting moments, and, it was a little bit combative. And I feel like in part that was because, again, Amanda belongs to that group, the misunderstood Black girl group, okay? And Black women, in general, people are highly reactive to us. This goes across the spectrum. Anybody who's not a non-Black woman are highly reactive to us, especially Black men, honey. These people, they are so defensive when they get into our presence, and they're so reactive. And you could just see that in the moment. It was like everything she said, he was like, had a difference of opinion. And he even said, like, I don't consider having a difference of opinion as being combative, because she said to him, I invite you to try to not be so combative. And he was like, I don't see that as being combative, a difference of opinion. And you're right, Shannon, having a difference of opinion is not necessarily combative. But if you're always having a difference of opinion with someone, that's combative, dog. I used to have a friend like that. Oh my God, this girl, every freaking thing I said, she would say the opposite. Everything I said, she had an argument for. And it's like, after a while, it's like, that's some deep, like, jealousy, weird stuff, But that's what was happening in this moment. And Black men are so reactive to Black women, especially people in general, though. So when we speak, people are like, oh, you're attacking me. And they get defensive. And it's like, is she attacking you, or is she just speaking her truth? She told you that she felt like they were racist to her. How are you going to tell her she didn't know that they were wrong, that they were just kids? Kids can be fucked up too. And she was a kid too. She told us she was diagnosed with autism. You trying to argue her down about that? Come on. But it wasn't combative the whole time. They did have some really sweet moments, and I did appreciate that. She did also give us some tea on Insecure. Oh my God, I want to get into so much stuff. She got into the tea about her being on Insecure and the whole drama about remember how she had got kicked out of that party that Issa's, I believe, PR person, somebody on Issa Rae's team had thrown her out of a party, and it was all this drama. And so she told her side of it, which basically was like, look, I showed up to this party, invited, wasn't allowed in. One of the people who was throwing the party came out to get me and said, no, she's coming in, invited me in. And then, old girl, Issa's PR person, sent security to escort me out. And they did so aggressively and verbally violently towards me. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And then Issa never did shit about it. And she was still working on Insecure at the time, and that girl was also there too, and it was awkward. And long story short, she's like, Issa asked me to call her and try to resolve it, and, didn't want to get involved. And then finally, when she did get involved, it took her 3 different conversations before Issa finally apologized to her and finally, understood what was really going on. It just was like, it was messy. It was messy. And she called Issa out on some other stuff too, honey. It was messy. She basically said like she had been protecting Issa because she understands like that Issa, is an important person, not in like the VIP way, but like she has an important role. And I agree. Issa really is a person who is bringing something to the entertainment industry and doing what she does. And she, it's important what she does, especially as a Black woman. And so I understand that. But she felt like, she was like, I was protecting her and not speaking on this stuff, but I'm gonna speak on it. She talked about butting heads with other people on the Insecure set. She talked about Sharonis Jackson, who, by the way, what's up, Sharonis? Sharonis is, I'm cool with, I know Sharonis personally, so I'm not gonna get too detailed into this, but she came for that nigga too. She did. She called him Earthworm Jim. She said, this Earthworm Jim looking motherfucker. And listen, I'm gonna let that go, because like I said, I know Sharonis and I don't want no problems. I don't want no beef. The other thing that really was interesting was the fact that Amanda Seales pointed out that she is in fact not mixed. Did y'all know that? I mean, this girl, they have been telling us this girl was mixed. She had a white mama, a Black daddy for years. Come to find out, Amanda Seales is a Black girl. Her daddy is a Black African American, and her mama is a Black Grenadian woman. I was like, they really got me on that, because I thought she was mixed. No, she talked about how people will use that against her to invalidate her opinion on Black issues. And she's like, and I'm not even mixed. I'm not even mixed. Also, the last thing I want to mention is that Amanda looks a lot like Vivica A. Fox. Am I the only one that noticed that? While she was doing this interview, there were moments where I was like, Vivica, is that you? She looks a lot like Vivica A. Fox. I want you guys to get in the comment section. I want you guys to get on that Discord, get in the email, and tell me, do you agree? Do you concur? It's like she favors her a little bit. And it really came out during this interview. There were moments where I was like, is this Vivica A. Fox? But it was not. It was Amanda Seales.